Good day everyone. Ang topic natin ngayon sa Grade 12 ICT CSS ay about sa user level configuration. Pero bago yan, itackle muna natin ang iba't ibang terminologies dun sa ating previous lesson. Okay? We will be having the objectives. We have to identify the user level access. We have to describe access control. Okay, pag-usapan natin yung domain versus work group. Domain means it is a group of computers and devices on a network that are administered as a unit with common rules and procedures. Within the internet, domains are still defined by the IP address. All devices sharing a common part of the IP address are said to be in the same domain. So, halimbawa, kung tayo ay nasa school at tayo ay may iba't ibang uri ng computer desktop or laptops, pero iisa lang po ang pinanggagalingan ng ating internet connection, and having the IP address of those computers, masasabi nating those computers are sharing for one domain. Ibig sabihin, nakakapag-connect ang internet ng lahat ng mga laptops or even the desktop of these computers through the IP address of this router. So, ibig sabihin, these all computers or laptops are sharing with the same domain, which is the IP address of this internet or router. Okay, next. Domain versus work group. Work group in a computer networking, a work group is a collection of computers on a local area network LAN that share common resources and responsibilities. Work groups provides easy sharing of files, printers, and other network resources. So, ibig sabihin, those computers na nakikita natin sa internet cafe are called the work group. Why? Because they are sharing a local area network. So, ibig sabihin, those things na ginagawa inside the internet cafe, with the connection of the printers, the sharing of files, and the network of resources, ay yun ay nanggagaling sa isang local area network lang. So, ibig sabihin, this is not a wide range of internet connectivity because it is enclosed with a certain room, which the sharing of files and printers and other network resources could be made or could be interconnected with the local area network. Okay? Yun ang kita natin mostly sa ating mga computer cafe. Next. So we have the word users. Users must be identified as authorized user, such as by logging in with username and password to laptop, computer, or desktop if it connects to corporate network that contains critical data. So, ibig sabihin, most of the time, lalo na sa ating mga gadget like the laptops, we have the users information. So, ibig sabihin, the authorized user should log into its username and password. So, for us to protect the data that we have in our laptops or desktop, we should have the username as well as the password. Okay? So, yung mga critical data na maaari nating itago at ma-preserve, we should have the access to control those data. And that are those the username and the password. Now, pag-aaralan natin yung ano nga ba ang tinatawag na access control? Physical access control at technical access control. Access control. Granting or denying approval to use specific resources. It is controlling access. So, sa topic na ito, pag-uusapan natin on how we could control yung pagpasok ng iba't ibang resources, okay, sa ating network. So, ibig sabihin, we have to deny or approve what are we going to accept or what kind of resources that we are going to accept. Kasi nakakatakot na dapat may control tayo sa ating mga data. Nakakatakot na ma-virusan or hindi natin maprotekta ng ating mga files. Unang-una lalo kung importante yan at yung laptops mo is hiniram ng kaklase mo, and then he put a USB, okay, or the drive. So, ibig sabihin, from that, wala ka ng access control. So, ibig sabihin, pag sinabing access control, we are denying or even approving those specific resources na pwedeng pumasok sa ating laptops or desktop. So, there are wide variety of threats na pwedeng nating maranasan regarding kapag tayo walang access control sa ating mga data. Lalong-lalo na sa mga importanteng bagay. Halimbawa, kung tayo ay nag-aaral, and then we do have the practical research too, tapos nandun sa laptop natin, ang mga idea o data na kailangan dun sa research, and then napasukan siya ng virus. Yon ang pinakamalaking problema. So, we should have the access control. Okay. The different wide variety of threats are the unauthorized access. Ibig sabihin, kapag hiniram yung gadget mo or yung instrument mo or materials mo, and then without your permission, that is unauthorized access. Okay? Without your prior permission, that is unauthorized access. Dapat the drive or the USB should be clean, should be manifested by the virus detected or detection. Okay? Next one is the unapproved modification of data. So, ibig sabihin, hindi naman sa pagpapasok ng iba't ibang devices sa ating laptops or pag-include, nagkakaroon ng threat. Okay? Halimbawa, habang tayo ay nasa bahay natin at meron tayong internet connection and we are doing our data, biglang may pumasok na nag-prompt sa atin, and then we accept it without reading, without analyzing what is that kind of prompt notification. So, ibig sabihin from that, pwedeng masira ang ating mga data. Okay? Pwedeng ma-modify niya ang ating mga data na instead etong in-expect natin, bawa sa subject natin, na gagawin natin, pagtingin natin ulit, pag na-approve natin yung mga notification na yon, at pagkatingin natin ulit, ang data natin ay nabago. That is a variety of threats. Next, itong lack of data confidentiality. So, confidentiality should be considered always. Okay? We should have our folders, we should have our backups for us to have the data more cleared and protected. So, ibig sabihin, kapag wala tayong data confidentiality, that is a threat for us to have a difficult time para ma-retrieve ang ating mga data. Okay? So, wala tayong access control. Because of those threats, maaari tayong mawala ng mga data or masirang ating laptops or even the other gadgets. Okay. Regarding with the cyber security and access control, kilalang kilala dyan yung CIA triad. So, ibig sabihin, this is a group or this is a program which protects the security of your data. So, CIA means confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So, ibig sabihin, regarding with the, aside from the different virus detected applications na nasa ating mga laptops or even the desktop, we have the CIA. So, ibig sabihin siguro ito yung pinakamatindi ng grupo or program na kung saan even the higher ranking countries itong ginagamit to protect or to secure the data na nasa atin. So, ibig sabihin, napaka-importante na access control. Kasi nakakatakot na if we will going to have the different data that are important, tas biglang nawala. Siguro, tas wala tayong backup files. So, yan ang nakakatakot. So, we should have the access control. Access control categories and types. So, we do have the types, the different categories and types of the access control. So, we have the preventive, detective, corrective, recovery, deterrent, and compensating. So, those are 6. Unang-una dyan, let's talk about preventive controls. It prevent actions. So, ibig sabihin, piniprevent niya na yung mga actions na dapat mangyari sa ating mga data. Yung mga bad experiences na pwedeng mangyari sa ating mga data or sa ating mga applications na nasa ating desktop or even the laptops. Okay? So, for us to prevent those actions, we have to background check before approving a tenant and ensure that the tenant are qualified. So, yung tenant rito is referring sa mga maaring magpasok ng mga iba't ibang informations, data sa inyong laptops or even i-modify niya. So, ibig sabihin, we have to background check. Halimbawa, meron tayong kaklase na na gustong makigamit ng ating laptops. And then sabihin natin na yan bang ipapasok mo, clean ba yan? Virus detected ba yan? Kasi nakakatakot na baka mawalan ako ng access control with my own gadget or my own instrument. So we have to background check. Okay? Before approving yung tenant na gamitin ang iyong gadgets. Next. Drug test before employment prevents hiring of employees that use illegal drugs. So, ibig sabihin, most of the time, ito ay nangyayari sa iba't ibang businesses. Siyempre, before we are accepting the different employees regarding with our different responsibilities in the companies, dapat may drug test sila. Kasi unang-una, baka mamaya, meron yung mga purposes behind our back na kung saan, kaya sila pumasok sa isang company or sa company natin is to get different informations regarding with our company. Halimbawa, napakaunlad ng company natin. Okay, nakatanggap tayo ng ganong uri ng employee. So, that is wrong. Next. Detective controls, it send alerts during or after an attack. So, ibig sabihin, halimbawa, papasok na ang ating mga tenant or ating mga kalaban regarding sa gustong sirain ng ating mga data. So, dito papasok yung detective controls. Okay? You should build alarm trigger during break-in. So, ibig sabihin, most of the employees, lalo na sa mga call center agents or sa company sa Makati, yan ay lumalabas kapag during their break time. So, ibig sabihin, dapat you have to have your username and password. And from the time that someone will use your gadget or desktop, it should be triggered, him or her, using your desktop. Kasi without permission, that is unruly. That is wrong. Yan, Network Intrusion Detection System or the IDS. Okay, alerting network administrators of an attack. So, ibig sabihin, dapat ang isang company is meron siyang IDS. What do you mean by that? Intrusion, yung pagpasok. So, ibig sabihin, from the time na napasok ng isang hacker o ng isang employee outside the company, yung isang desktop, dapat ma-alarma na at the same time, yung administrators, dapat alam nila ang mga nangyayari. So, from the time na pumasok yung intruder, so, ibig sabihin, dapat na-alarma sila on what they are going to do. They have to detect what number of desktop. Kasi usually sa mga company, lalo na sa call center, maraming mga desktop yan na kung saan may mga numbers. So, ibig sabihin, may mga networking yan. So, from the time na someone is using the desktop na hindi para sa kanya, tapos may napakailaman siya mga data, so, ibig sabihin, that should be a sign for the administration to inform or to investigate who are those or who is that intruders. Okay? Next. Corrective controls. So, from the word correct, a damage system or process. So, antivirus should be always promulgated or implemented in all different kinds of gadgets or materials which is securing our data. Okay? Any computer system should have an antivirus. Okay? Intrusion Prevention System or the IPS can stop a network attack by blocking it. So, halimbawa may mga pumasok sa atin mga different mga notifications, ibig sabihin, because of the IPS, pwede niya nang i-block yon. Kasi most of the time sa isang company, meron niyang applications na kung saan kapag hindi nila kilala yung papasok na information sa kanilang network, binablock na agad yan. Okay? Para makapag-prevent, para ma-correct yung mga hindi pa dapat maging damage or proseso kasi nakakatakot masira ang lahat ng files. Okay? Kapag lalong-lalo na kapag ikaw ay walang backup. Access control categories. Okay, another one, recovery controls are needed to restore functionality. Okay, syempre, dito na papasok yung mga backups. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kapag tayo ay usually sa secure ng data sa ating mga materials like the laptops and the gadgets or the different gadgets or the desktop, we have to have the backup. So, ibig sabihin, we could have the USB, which is cleaned. We could have the different network identity regarding with our applications, different applications na pwede nating maitago, or even sa Google Drive na kung saan usong-uso ngayon. So, ibig sabihin, kapag kayo ay gumagawa ng mga data, pwede nyo siyang i-secure sa Google Drive nyo sa inyong Gmail. So, that is a kind of backup para hindi makorap ang data natin. Whatever that is going to have in the near future, masira man, sinave lang natin siya sa desktop at biglang nagkaroon ng pagkasira ng data, so we can come back with the Google Drive. So, pwede natin dun i-save as the backup. Okay, a secondary office site can restore business functionality after a natural disaster to the business primary site. So, ibig sabihin, dito naman we're talking about the businesses. So, ibig sabihin, meron tayong primary site, halimbawa yung pinaka-main office ng isang company, and then, pwede tayong gumawa ng backup for us to restore the business functionality doon sa second office. Halimbawa, ang branch niya ay nasa Makati, tas ang main niya ay nasa Manila. May nangyaring natural disaster sa Manila, nagkaroon ng lindol, bumagsak yung building. At least from the second office, which is located at Makati, mare-restore natin lahat ng mga business functionality. So, ibig sabihin, nakasave tayo. May backup tayo. Hindi man sa same unit sa Manila, but also in the other branches. Okay? Next. We have deterrent controls. Deter users from performing actions. So, ibig sabihin, deterrent is some kind of having meaning with same meaning with preventing. Okay? Siyempre, may yung mga before our intruders or yung mga papasok na pwedeng gumawa ng mga kamalian sa ating access control, pwede nating pwede nating ma-prevent or ma-deterrent by having the security guards in the company or a fence around your building. So, ibig sabihin, kasi sa isang company, lalo na sa Makati, there are lots of employees na kung saan hindi naman masyado na-detect ng company owner kung sino-sino yung mga legal employees na pumapasok sa kanila unless they have the security guards observing the identification card or the ID. Okay? So, from there, pwede na natin makontrol pwede na natin mabigyan ng halaga ang ating access control by having the security guards and the different fences around your building. So, ibig sabihin from that, by securing or by disallowing people in entering your company premises, yung paligid ng kumpanya nyo, pwede nang ma-deterrent siya. Ma-deter, okay? Next. Compensating controls add additional security by compensating other controls weaknesses. So, ibig sabihin, we have to compensate. We have to pahalagahan. Kailangan natin bigyan ng halaga, kailangan natin bigyan ng parangal or bigyan natin ng recognition man lang those people or those people who are securing our data. Okay? So, we have to defense in depth and then the multiple layers of security. So, ibig sabihin from the deterring controls, we have to compensate then. So, ibig sabihin, we have to compensate in the sense that we have to give back to those people who are securing our data. Kasi unang-una, napakahirap, lalong-lalo kung may mga iba't ibang viruses na pumapasok sa ating data. Okay, we're talking about another physical access control. Fencing, hardware door locks, and man-traps that limit contact with devices. So, ibig sabihin dito naman, the physical access control should give importance with the step on how they could limit the contact with the different devices that are used in the company or in the school. So ibig sabihin, kung ikaw ay grade 11, okay, and then you will be sitting on the desktop that is used by the grade 12, dapat physically access control ka doon. Dapat wala kang dapat galawin sa mga files ng grade 12. Kasi unang-una mahihirapan siya lalo na kung walang backup, lalo na sa school na kung saan two students in a desktop. So that is hard. Lalo na kapag may contact ka doon sa device. So for you to be able to give importance with the access control, the physical access control ng nakaupo doon, you do not have to use or you do not have to pakialaman yung mga files na nandoon sa desktop na yon, or else ma-identify ka. Kasi some teachers in the ICT are giving you the right seat, the right desktop number, na kung saan yun lang yung gagamitin mo. And then alam nila kung sino yung gagamit na ibang grade doon. So that is networking then. Okay. So for the physical access control, we could have the biometric systems. Ibig sabihin biometrics, yung daliri mo na halimbawa kung if ever your desktop is modernized, so there could be biometrics, or even in the company na kung saan para hindi mapakialaman yung mga data nyo. Ibig sabihin ng physical, we're talking about people, na kung saan pwedeng people or things na kung saan pwedeng maging cause para yung data mo ay masira. So we're going to the biometric systems, the security guards, entry and exit points, dapat alam nila yan. And then the ID cards and badges, electronic access cards. So usually itong electronic access cards, nangyayari yan sa iba't ibang company, usually sa Makati. For you to enter in a company, for you to open a door that is made in glass, you have the electronic access cards. And then you should have the surveillance security cameras, the CCTV, the metal detectors na ginagamit ng security guards, and then the electric fencing, alarms, lock and key systems. So ibig sabihin, those are the physical access control na kung saan could help us to prevent the intruders, yung mga tao na pwedeng sumira sa ating system, sa ating data. Okay? Next. Technology ito naman yung pangatlo, which is the technical access control. Kasi we have the access control, the physical access control, and the technical access control. Technology restrictions that limit users on computers from accessing data. So, ibig sabihin, hindi porke users ka, you will be allowed to use the different data regarding with the desktop that you are using. Siyempre, meron yung mga limited, na kung saan kapag pinindot mo yung isang applications, you are not allowed. So, ibig sabihin, or halimbawa, kapag pinindot mo yung isang application para makita mo yung data, minsan nagtatanong sila ng password or notification keys. So, ibig sabihin, you are not allowed to use those computers to access those data. So, technically, na-program yon. Ibig sabihin, the technology itself made the restrictions on how you will be limited on accessing data in a certain computer. Ayan, halimbawa, dyan, okay? By default, a router does not filter traffic. Ibig sabihin, yung router, hindi niya lahat na filter kung ano yung mga pumapasok na data or mga different viruses or internet notifications. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, from here, technically, may ACL ka na rito, pero you are using technology. So, ibig sabihin, you have the access control. So, ibig sabihin, from here, technically, meron ka ng program na kung saan dito pa lang, kapag ikaw ay hindi nare-recognize ng program ng isang company, you will be blocked. Okay? Ayan o, determines if the packet is permitted or denied. Ibig sabihin ng packet, yung mga pumapasok na data. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kapag ang isang company ay meron silang mga access control, pwede niyang i-block yung mga data na hindi importante, na alam nilang pwedeng makasira sa kanilang account. So, that is the access control. Diba? Usually, we're talking about safetyness, securing our data. So that is the main goal of our topic. Okay? So we have the access control terminology. So ibig sabihin, kapag may pumasok sa inyong notifications regarding with the different companies, you have to identify, 'di ba? Kailangan mag-present muna sila ng credentials. Halimbawa, if you are working in Smart, and then you will be able to have the company which is securing your services. So ibig sabihin, pag ikaw ay nagtatrabaho sa Smart and then you are manipulating the access, kapag may pumasok yan, dapat ipipresent ng company pumasok sa inyo, sa yung nag-access ng data nyo, yung credential nila. O halimbawa, si San Miguel, gumamit ng services ni Smart. Siyempre si San Miguel Corporation, pagpasok niya, dapat identified siya as the San Miguel Corporation. Para hindi magkakamali si Smart na tanggapin at bigyan sila ng program kung anong gusto nila ipagawa. Okay? Authentication. So, ibig sabihin, sa smart company naman, before giving the services, kailangan niya ma-authenticate. Kailangan niya ma-check yung credentials. Hindi pwedeng, pag nag-notify yan, si San Miguel ang lumabas, hindi pwedeng ganon. There are different informations para tanggapin ng smart company. Okay? Yung services, para maibigay ng full 100% ni Smart, yung services na pwede nila ibigay kay San Miguel Corporation. Next, authorization. Ayan, upon checking the credentials, ma-authorize na ng Smart Company yung pagpasok ni San Miguel Corporation sa kanila. So, ibig sabihin, i-grant niya na yung permission to take action. Okay, ibig sabihin, the San Miguel Corporation is allowed to give feedbacks, to give different credentials para magawa ng program ni Smart. So those are the three different access control terminology. We do have the identification. Ulitin ko, the company na papasok sa inyong company rin, dapat ipipresent niya yung credentials. Hindi lang basta mag-notify yan. There are certain questions na mag-undergo muna sila bago tanggapin ng company nyo. Okay. Tapos authentication, you have to check the credentials. Kasi pag hindi mo na-check yan at nagkamali ka, pwedeng malagyan ng masira ang iyong mga data. And then, upon authenticating, saka ka palang mag-grant ng permission. Okay? Para dumalo yung serbisyo na gusto mong ibigay. Next, the technical access control process. Access control models. So, eto yan. Halimbawa, si subject, si end user, he wants to ask for the details of her salary. So, ibig sabihin, ang meron lang naman hawak na data regarding with the salary and the summary of the performance nitong tao na to ay yung owner lang. Pero, may system silang sinusunod. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin, to identify, kailangan maibigay yung mga username, the password, saka pa lang gagana yung system. So, eto naman, i-review niya si custodian, i-review niya yung mga security settings regarding dun sa salary ng tao na yon. So, ibig sabihin, dito sa system, naka-enclosed or naka-encode kung kailan siya nagsimula, kung ilan yung lates niya, kung gaano siya nagpe-perform. So, ibig sabihin si custodian, siya yung nagsisecure ng data. Si owner, utusan siya to secure, to open up about dun sa salary ng subject. So, those are the process on how we could control, we could secure the data, we could have the access control. Or else, pwede na siyang mapasok. So, technically, upon reviewing ni custodian, yung salary ni subject, okay, she is using technology. So, ibig sabihin, that is the technical access control process. Hindi basta-basta pwedeng dumirekta si subject kay custodian. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung proseso na dapat laging kino-consider. Okay? Dapat proper protocol. Magsasabi si end user kay owner, and then the owner will command the custodian to open up all the informations regarding with the subject. access control model. So, hardware and software predefined framework that custodian can use for controlling access. So, ibig sabihin si custodian, siya yung nagmamanipulate, siya yung nagko-control, siya yung nagsisecure ng lahat ng data para makontrol pa rin yung access sa isang company. So, even sa hardware is in the inside the CPU, all the things that we can see, that we can saw. Okay, the diodes, the different small machines. Okay, the software are the applications. So, ibig sabihin, si custodian pa rin ang nagmamanipulate niyan, nagko-control at nagsisecure. Used by custodians for access control are neither created nor installed by custodians or users. Instead, these models are already part of the software and hardware. So, ibig sabihin, si custodians, pwede siyang magbigay ng access control or mag-create or mag-install ng different applications regarding with the gadgets or the desktop na ginagamit niya. So, ibig sabihin, pwede siyang mag-implement, lalo na yung mga computer science natin na estudyante, pwede silang mag-create ng mga data na kung saan sila yung tinatawag na custodians if they will be securing for the data. Tapos, yun din, depende rin naman kung bukod dun sa nilalagay ni custodians, merong mga software pang inilalagay. Okay? May mga software na nakatanim na doon, naka-install na sa desktop or laptops or different gadgets that are used by the different companies. Okay, we do have the three types of access control models. Unang-una dyan, the discretionary access control or DAC. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung mga models na kung saan, these are the applications na kung saan may nagbibigay importansya sa pagkocontrol, okay, sa access control sa ating data. Okay, discretionary access control or the DAC is a model for access control based on access being determined by the owner of the resource in question. The owner of the resource can decide who and who does not have access and exactly what access they are allowed to have. So, ibig sabihin, etong si owner or yung nagmamayari ng company, he has the right to give or to decide kung sino ang pwedeng bigyan ng access sa kanyang mga application sa kanilang company or kung sino ang hindi niya dapat bigyan. Okay? Syempre, siya lang naman ang makakapag-allowed. Okay? Discretion niya yon. Ibig sabihin, option or decision niya yon kung kanino niya ibibigay yung access, yung pag-allowed or pagpayag kung dapat bang pumasok sa access nila or hindi. So, that is the meaning of DAC. Another type of access control model is the mandatory access control or the MAC. It is a method of limiting access to resources based on the sensitivity of the information that the resource contains and the authorization of the user to access information with that level of sensitivity. So, ibig sabihin, dito naman, the owner will limit the access of some people na kung saan gustong makapasok dun sa access ng kanilang company. So, ibig sabihin sa mandatory, minamandatory lamang ng owner kung ano lamang yung dapat i-access ng bawat resources or bawat mga intruders na pwedeng pumasok sa company. So, ibig sabihin limited, ibig sabihin mandatory, yun lang. Kung ano lang yung sinabi sa iyo, limited lang yung access na pwede mong mapagkunan. Or else, you will be pushed out of the company. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, even sa mga matatagal ng mga nagtatrabaho sa isang company, meron pa rin mga MAC na kung saan meron silang mga files na hindi pwedeng pakialaman. Okay? Mandatory lang yung access control nila. Next. So, we have the number 3, which is the user access control or the MAC. That is UAC. Hindi ko na bago ito. This is UAC. Okay? It is a security feature of Windows helps prevent unauthorized changes to the operating system. These changes can be initiated by application, users, viruses, or other forms of malware. So, ibig sabihin, we're talking about the Windows different software na kung saan nag-limit for you to access the different data. So, ibig sabihin, before you will use certain desktop or laptops, and then you will be inputting different like the USB, okay, may mga applications yan na pwedeng magtanong sa'yo to detect viruses. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, hindi ka basta-basta magpapasok or magkocontrol ng mga data sa loob ng gadgets or materials na ginagamit mo. So, that is user access control. Again, this is UAC. User Access Control, UAC. Okay, that's all for our topic today. Hopefully, you have learned something from me. Okay? I will be giving you different activities and in your Google Classroom, and be sure that you will be submitting it on the deadline that I will be giving to you. Bye bye.